Actually, I don't. I haven't even explored this place, so I can't even look at my map. Those are skate pods right there. Yep, skate pods.
Yes, what's on your mind? Taris? The planet's all one big city, but its golden years are long past. And things have gotten worse since the Sith occupied it. From what I hear, the wealthy live on the tops of all the tall towers, and if you're poor, you live down in the shadows. And it gets worse the lower you go. Well, that's all I can think of, at any rate. Me? Well, I've been a star pilot for the Republic for years. Seen more than my share of wars. I fought in the Mandalorian Wars before all this started. But with all that, I've never experienced anything like the slaughter these Sith animals can unleash. Not even the Mandalorians were that senseless. My homeworld was one of the first planets to fall to Malak's fleet. The Sith bombed it into submission, and there wasn't a damn thing our Republic forces could do to stop it. It shouldn't be my fault. I did everything I could. I followed my orders and did my duty. That shouldn't mean I failed them. I didn't.
Man, Karth is a weenie. How you gonna... You know what? I'm not even gonna touch that.
Yeah, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not making much sense, am I? You probably mean well with your questions. I'm just not accustomed to talking about my past very much. At all, actually. I'm more used to taking action, keeping my mind focused on the business at hand. So let's just do that. If you have more questions, ask them later.
I want to ask him now, dude. But alright. A black person.
Hello there. I haven't seen you in my shop before. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Kebla Yurt. Welcome to the Equipment Emporium. You looking to buy some supplies? My shop's the largest one in all of Upper Taris. Best selection on the planet. Whatever you need, I've got. Well, mostly.
Mostly? What do you mean by that?
The Sith confiscated all my heavy weapons, and they impounded all my ships and swoop bikes. But I've still got a real nice selection, if you're interested. Anything I can do to help a potential customer out. What do you want to know? I heard a couple of pods crash down in the Undercity. I bet the crash sites have already been stripped clean by the Sith, though. Unless the swoop gangs or Davix men got there first. I don't have anything good to say about those swoop gangs. Zooming around on their swoop bikes, terrorizing the lower city like a bunch of animals. Things weren't so bad when the hidden Becks were running the show. But ever since the rise of the Black Vulcar gang, the lower city has been nothing short of a war zone. The Sith haven't even bothered trying to maintain order down there. And I heard a rumor that Davix's own people are having problems with the Black Vulcars now. Oh, Davik's a legitimate businessman, if you get my drift. Smuggling, slaving, extortion. They say he's a member of the Exchange, you know, the big intergalactic criminal organization.
Well, I've heard of the Exchange. Bad organization to cross. But if anyone has blockade-breaking ships, however, it's them.
I have to pay him a protection fee every month, but it's reasonable. And I get most of my inventory through Davik and his suppliers. I'm just smart enough not to ask where it came from, you understand? Davik hates the Sith as much as anybody. The quarantine has put a real dent in his operations, too. But he's keeping a low profile as long as the occupation lasts. Davik stays out of the way, and the Sith don't bother him. The swoop gangs could learn a thing or two from this tidy little arrangement, instead of always going after each other. I don't have anything good to say about those swoop gangs. Zooming around on their swoop bikes, terrorizing. Things weren't so bad. The Sith haven't even bothered trying. Oh, you're one of those off-worlders, aren't you? Come to Taris for a short business trip and end up stuck here because of the Sith quarantine, right? Oh, you can't be too happy. Trapped on an unfamiliar world and all. But Taris isn't so bad, as long as you stay in the upper city. Just try to avoid the Sith. And stay out of the lower city. The swoop gangs are totally out of control. Even Davik's men are having trouble down there. Good day to you, then. Remember to come back to my shop if you ever need any supplies.
I'm not even gonna bother looking at her shop because I am dirt poor right now. So. Yeah, man. Get that. I have nothing. If I was on PC, maybe I'll look at the shop because you know you can mod money in, but I'm not gonna bother in this game.
Out of our way, citizen. We're on official Sith business. Just stand aside if you know what's good for you.
Can't even respond to that, dude.
I wonder if any of those Republic space pods survived crash landing in the Undercity. Taris used to be a nice place before the Sith showed up and started bossing us around.
Can't you see I'm busy with my duties? Go talk to Zelka if you need something.
Who the hell's Zelka? Oh.
I see from your appearance that you are an off-worlder. Still, you're welcome here. I'll not have it said that Zelka Foreign refused to help somebody just because they weren't a citizen of Taris. Do you require healing or medical supplies? I can treat almost any injury or ailment right here at the medical facility. Except the rat ghoul disease, of course. The terrible affliction has plagued Taris for many generations. It is spread by the rat ghouls, horrible monsters that live in the Undercity below Taris's great skyscrapers. Prolonged exposure to the Undercity breeds the disease, and those infected will eventually mutate into rat ghouls themselves, becoming mindless beasts that feed on the flesh of others. There is no antidote for the disease, though I heard the Republic scientists at the military base here on Taris were close to perfecting a cure. Then the Sith arrived. They overran the military base, and now they refuse to allow anyone access to the laboratories inside. The Sith are keeping all the serum for the patrols they send into the Undercity. If I could just get my hands on a sample of that serum, the rat ghoul disease could be wiped from the face of Taris forever. But I don't see how that's going to happen. I couldn't afford to give you more than a few med packs and a handful of credits. The medical center can barely afford to stay open as it is. But it hardly matters anyway. I don't see how anyone could get their hands on that serum. The military base is crawling with Sith guards. Breaking in there would be a suicide mission. I suppose the Sith patrols in the Undercity might have a sample of the serum on them, if they hadn't already used it because of a rat ghoul infection. But I doubt a patrol would just hand the serum over, and nobody is stupid enough to attack one of the Sith patrols, even in the Undercity. I am quite busy maintaining the facility, but I suppose I could spare a bit of time to answer some questions.
Man, this
What
dude
would you
was
like to
doing
know?
nothing when I walked in. What the hell is he talking about maintaining? What is he doing? This guy.
I know enough to be scared of them. I've heard about the brutality of the Sith. I know what they do to the planets they conquer. So far, all they've done is ask me some general questions, but I'm afraid they might one day decide to shut this facility down simply out of evil spite. I guess there's not much I can do about the Sith, except hope that the Republic finds a way to stop their conquest of the entire galaxy. I am quite busy maintaining... Republic escape pods? No, why would you ask me that? I don't know. Those pods crashed in the Undercity. I'm not involved in any way. The Sith were already here, asking these same questions. I'll tell you what I told them. I don't know anything about those pods. Now, is there something else you need? I am quite busy maintaining... Republic escape pod... I'm not defensive, I just don't like being accused of knowing something about those Republic pods. This is as bad as an interrogation by the Sith. The Sith were already here, asking these... Of course. Just step over here and I'll show you what I have in stock. My prices are very reasonable. Just what I need to keep this facility operating.
So reasonable to a guy who needs money to keep his facility operating is high, pretty much. So just letting people know that. Alright. Let's see. What was this?
No problem. Got it.
What are you doing? Don't go in there. That door is for employees only. You recognize these soldiers? But how? Unless you're a friend of the Republic. What? No, you don't tell the Sith, please. I can explain all this.
Since the space battle overhead, people have been secretly bringing in these Republic soldiers who crash-landed on the planet. I had to take them in. What choice did I have? Their injuries are terrible. Most won't survive. But at least I can make their last days more comfortable. And at least here, they're hidden away from the Sith.
Well, for that you have my thanks. It's good to know that at least some of these men ended up in compassionate hands.
I hate to imagine what the Sith would do if they discovered these soldiers here. But since their initial questioning, the Sith have not returned, so it may be my fears are unfounded.
No, it's not. The Sith
Man,
would
see,
torture
I
men
hate-
like
I
these
hate
or
cars.
worse. And you're not threatening this man while I'm present.
Fine. Take these credits to seal your tongue, then leave this place. I don't want to have anything to do with a monster like you.
Well, I understand some extra credits might help us in our mission, but I don't approve of your methods. Zelka's a good man. You shouldn't have done that.
You've got your credits. Now please show yourself out. You're no longer welcome here.
There we go, dark side. Exactly what I need. But look at this. Got the Republic shit there, just in water tanks. Healing, I guess. Go ahead and get out of here.
Psst, you there. Wait a minute. I need to talk to you about the Rakghoul serum. I've got an offer for you might want to hear. Zelka isn't the only one who wants to get his hands on the Rakghoul serum. Davik Kang will pay you 10 times what Zelka can if you can get the cure. Davik isn't the kind of guy you can just walk up to, you know. He likes to keep his business at arm's length. The best thing to do is to take the Rakghoul serum to Zax. He runs the Lower City Bounty Office, but everyone knows he also works for Davik. He'll make it worth your while. I'll just deny it. Who's Zelka gonna believe? Me or some off-world stranger? Now be smart about this. You'll get a better deal selling to Davik.
And then only the rich could afford the cure. Just let the poor suffer, right?
This dude,
If
Karth,
you find the
man.
Rakghoul serum, just take it to Zax in the Lower City Bounty Office. He works for Davik. He'll pay you what that cure is really worth.
Alright.